This roller coaster would have been the tallest and fastest roller coaster in the world. It was planned to be built in the early 2000s, but just a couple of years later, it was cancelled and the manufacturer was bankrupt. A lot of crazy roller coaster concepts have never come to be. So let's talk about some lost roller coaster concepts that never saw the light of day. Our first concept, the Figure 8 Loop. This insane element is often mistakenly thought to have been designed by Anton Schwarzkopf due to the similarity of the layout to the German designer's looping coasters of the day. But it was actually designed by German Schumann company Puch, who operated some of Schwarzkopf's travelling coasters such as the Münchner Bahn. Puch owed the patent for this insane element, which looks like what would happen if you placed a vertical loop directly on top of a non-inverting loop. The result is one of the most eye-catching inversions you're ever likely to see. Unfortunately, it never came to fruition. The element was calculated by famous coaster designer Werner Stengel, but was never fabricated due to its high forces being too intense for riders. A model of the ride has previously been displayed at trade fairs by German manufacturer Zera, but that is the closest the element has ever come to reality. Maybe one day we'll see the element revived with the new computer technology we have today to help solve the issues with G-forces. Our second concept is the POLER coaster, designed by American firm US Thrill Rides. Debuted at the 2011 IAAPA Expo, this crazy concept was originally unveiled as a collaboration between US Thrill Rides and S&S Worldwide. The concept consists of a 200-foot plus tower with a roller coaster winding around the outside of the structure, and it came very close to fruition. The first contracts for construction were announced in 2013, officially confirmed in 2014 to be going to a new development project in Orlando, Florida. This was to be a large-scale version of the model, standing 570 feet tall, which would have made it the tallest roller coaster in the world. However, the project quickly ran into delays and problems. In July 2015, after many delays, it was announced that S&S were no longer involved in the project, and that the manufacturing license had been awarded to Swiss manufacturer Intamin. As recently as 2015, 4 POLER coasters were planned to be in construction, including another 350-foot model at the Atlantic City Boardwalk in New Jersey, and a massive 650-foot construction on the Las Vegas Strip. However, none of them would come to be. US Thrill Rides filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy in December 2022, with all of their long-delayed POLER coaster projects being cancelled as a result. However, after this year's IAAPA Expo, it is rumoured that the concept has been purchased by Canadian firm Martin & Vlaminx, so we may yet see the concept revived in the future. Our third concept is the MAA X-Car Drifter. MAA's X-Car was an eye-catching revolution in rollercoaster train technology in 2004 when it first premiered on Skywheel at Germany's Skyline Park. A new train design that features on their Skyloop, Launch Coaster and X-Train coasters, it features state-of-the-art lap bar designs and a sleek profile that offers an incredible and unique ride experience. The lap bar design allowed for longer and more forceful inversions without the need for over-the-shoulder restraints. But MAA had even bigger plans for this model. Dubbed the drifting or sliding model, MAA proposed X-Cars that were designed to slide from side to side when going around corners or under strong lateral G-forces, creating a drifting sensation. While not much footage or video of this exists, it certainly is an interesting concept. Unfortunately for MAA, it looks like Intamin are set to beat them to the punch when it comes to the drifting concept, with the new Fast and Furious coaster under construction at Universal Studios Hollywood set to feature the Swiss manufacturer's own innovative take on the idea. Our fourth concept is the Togo Looping coaster proposed for Six Flags Fiesta Texas. On the plot of land where the park's famous B&M Flawless coaster, Superman Krypton coaster, currently stands, there was once a proposal for an incredible looping coaster by Japanese manufacturer Togo. Togo's original plan for the plot were revealed when a conceptual model was placed for sale on eBay by a Texas-based seller. The detailed model of the proposal was found at a local flea market and shows that the ride would have featured a towering interlocking helix, a vertical loop over a lake, and an underwater tunnel. While Togo's reputation in the US was certainly not great, it would have been fascinating to see them take on this concept, and there's no denying that the layout looks appealing. While Superman is one of the more popular coasters at Fiesta Texas and Togo has long since gone bankrupt, it's still nice to imagine what it would have been like if the park received this unique looper. Our fifth concept is Aerodynamics Pipeline Coaster. In response to Togo's somewhat successful Ultra Twister models that were built at various parks across Japan and the United States, American manufacturer Aerodynamics sought to create their own pipeline coaster in the early 1990s. A prototype was even constructed at Aero's facility in Utah. This coaster came very close to becoming a reality, with the first model proposed to be built as Alton Towers' Secret Weapon 1 on the plot that Nemesis currently sits on. However, development director John Wardley rode the prototype pipeline coaster at Aero's facility and cited that it was boring, rough, and not very thrilling as reason to scrap the plans and build something different. In the end, those janky Aero transitions were the model's downfall. After a brief renewal of interest from Alton Towers in potentially making a pipeline coaster as Secret Weapon 2, the concept was scrapped in favour of the park's now signature B&M invert, and the pipeline coaster idea overall died out once Togo went bankrupt. However, Intamin did once try their hands at the idea, but that's a story for another video.
Wait a second, if you'd like to support the channel, there is one really good way that you can do so. Scan this QR code and either buy me a coffee for just, $5, or you can become a channel member. Channel members get exclusive content and access to park merch giveaways and so much more. Big thanks to all the new members from November whose names are now on the bottom of the screen. Become a December member today. Back to the video.
Our sixth concept is the gyro coaster, conceptualized by American firm akaengineer. In this strange animation that shows complete disregard and contempt for the laws of physics, this American manufacturer proposed what appears to be a mix between the gyrosphere thrill ride and the inverted coaster. Designed by a firm usually known for their aerospace engineering, it was unveiled in 2009, and S&S was said to be on board to manufacture it, revealing in an interview with their vice president in 2011 that they had partnered with an engineering firm in Southern California that specializes in aerospace and government contracts, to build a ride concept which has a fourth dimension type ride experience but at half the cost of a 4D coaster. The ride's vehicles were capable of rotating on 3 axes, making S&S's new Axis coaster look tame by comparison. However, I think there's no denying that the forces on this coaster might have been a bit much. Nothing has been heard from akaengineering's amusement department since then, and S&S have certainly moved on to different projects, so it's unknown whether the patents will ever be put to use. Our seventh concept is the RMC TRex, one that I'm sure many enthusiasts will be sad to see on this list. Accompanying their Raptor single-rail design in 2018, the TRex track was set to take the amusement world by storm. A larger scale single-rail model than the Raptor, this model would have been capable of 2 across seating while still offering the same intense single-rail elements that the Raptors became known for. Rumours swirled for some time that the T-Rex would be capable of layouts exceeding 500 or even 600 feet, and that this model could spell the next breaking of the height record for roller coasters. However, there have been no inklings of a T-Rex ever being built, and now there is even suggestion that the American manufacturer may have completely shelved the concept. While that's not confirmed and a T-Rex may still be built at some stage in the future, it certainly does seem that the Raptor is more marketable for parks, as larger scale custom layouts of the smaller single rail design have been built at Six Flags Great Adventure and Magic Mountain, as well as a dueling model coming to Wallaby Holland. One theory suggests cost analysis on the T-Rex found that only 3 or 4 parks in the world could realistically purchase one, and that only one of those parks expressed interest. Building a single rail coaster of such scale would have theoretically been a very costly venture, and it didn't come with the appeal and marketability of being able to fit a thrilling and extreme ride inside a compact footprint. While I certainly hope RMC may be able to push the limits of the Giga Coaster and beyond someday, it certainly doesn't seem like we're going to see a T-Rex anytime soon. Our 8th concept is the Fabbri Speed Racer, this strange and wacky design by Italian manufacturer Fabbri. Revealed in a concept video posted on the manufacturer's YouTube channel in 2019, this compact layout looks quite similar to a chance toboggan. However, when you look closer, it's even wackier. The ride starts with a rapid launch straight into a brake run, which is probably the most pointless thing I've ever seen designed on a roller coaster. The ride then turns 180 degrees before climbing a vertical lift hill inside a tower that just happens to be wearing a racing helmet, because why not? After cresting the lift hill, the ride drops straight into 2 consecutive vertical loops, followed by a 0G roll into the final brakes. Why Fabbri ever thought that this coaster was a good idea is beyond me, but the comments section is an absolute blessing. Our 9th concept is the inverted wooden coaster concept by American manufacturer Gordon Rides. We all love wooden coasters, and we all love inverted coasters, but the only manufacturer gutsy enough to try to combine the two was a now defunct American manufacturer known for their strange flat ride that Coney Island couldn't get rid of, and for their other coaster concept, a Star Wars coaster. Gordon's Mega Whirl caused Coney Island headaches galore when it failed miserably with crowds and then couldn't be relocated after damage caused to the ride by Hurricane Sandy. However, the most eye-catching coaster concept is definitely the wooden invert. The Connecticut-based manufacturer patented the concept in 2011, demonstrating this model that features lap bars and even leg guards to protect riders' legs from the support structure. However, the ride would have been incapable of inversions, making it likely a rather boring inverted coaster, as well as being a maintenance nightmare due to the inaccessibility of the wooden track for regular maintenance inspections. In the end, the Mega Whirl fiasco sent Gordon Rides bankrupt, and the concept of a wooden invert died with the manufacturer. Our 10th and final concept is the Aerodynamics Fish Hook Coaster, proposed for Las Vegas's Stratosphere Tower. Not only would this coaster have been the tallest roller coaster in the world, it would have shattered the record, standing at a whopping 740 feet. Running from the famous amusement park at the top of the gigantic Stratosphere Tower, the proposed coaster was set to be constructed by famous American manufacturer Aerodynamics and would have dived off the side of the tower, crossing Las Vegas Boulevard and curving upwards into a 415-foot vertical spike. However, the vertical rollback was in close proximity to suburban neighborhoods, and residents complained that the coaster would be too loud. In response, in February 2002, a redesigned fishhook coaster was proposed that would stand at only 510 feet, including enclosed ride vehicles to reduce screaming noise from riders. The City Council announced that construction would begin in April 2002. However, on December 3, 2001, Arrow had filed for bankruptcy, and they officially closed in October 2002, which brought a swift demise to the project. While Arrow's assets were sold off to S&S and other Arrow projects such as X at Six Flags Magic Mountain were completed by the fellow American manufacturer, the Fishhook project was cancelled completely. It's incredible to think that this coaster would have been the equivalent of diving off a 70-story building. Absolutely insane. While we never got to see any of these coaster concepts come to fruition, it's still fascinating to look back and imagine what might have been in an alternate coaster timeline. Or perhaps one day one of these concepts may be revived in a new form or by a new manufacturer. Only time will tell. Thank you so much for watching, please consider liking and subscribing, and I'll see you next time.